All right, y'all. Welcome to Good Rookies Podcast, Episode 1. I'm Nelly J.
My name's Faheem.
And we're excited, guys. This is our first episode under the Good Rookies flagship. This is an epic moment right now. We got a lot of exciting things happening. But first, before I start, I want to introduce our special guests. These are established gentlemen in the Toronto, the sixth world. So first, I want to introduce my boy T. What up, Terrence? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thank you very much for having me on the podcast, man.
No
It's a
problem.
pleasure, especially after the rebranding. Let's kick it off right, give you guys a fresh breath of fresh air so you guys can do everything the way you want to do it. So I'm honored to be on your podcast, man. I like the look, I like the background, everything's you guys are doing a good job. I'm smiling.
Awesome. Thank you. And our next guest is Mr. Producer, Mr. Music Musician, Duke De Niro. What up, man?
Hey, I'm here, man. Thank you for the invite. It's an honor. I've always wanted to do one of these podcasts solo because I'm not usually a person who likes to be seen. But, for y'all two, I decided, maybe this would be the one I just, come out of my shell, basically.
Nice.
Good. And we want you to be on more episodes too. Is that the only one, Duke? So
yeah.
Get comfortable.
I'm gonna be on a lot more for sure.
Excellent. So we want our viewers to kind of get to know you guys a bit more. So I'm gonna ask you a difficult but yet simple question. Please tell us, who is your favorite athlete of all time in any sport? I know it's hard. You could pick one or two, but think about it for a second. Who is your favorite athlete that when you hear their name, you would like defend them in every argument, every sport debate? Who can that be? So
well, for me, that would be Kevin Garnett because he was the first of his kind. First power forward who could play two guard, who can play point guard, who could play center. He was the first of his kind. So I would say he would be someone that, definitely would be on top of my list.
Nice.
Anything's possible.
Everything is possible, as you can see. Won that title.
And the top trash talker, I think, as well.
Well, in this modern era, you can say that he's one of them.
Yeah. T, who's your favorite athlete? You're struggling, buddy. Your face looks like you're struggling.
Definitely not struggling. There's only one person that comes to mind when you actually need greatest athlete. I got to give it to my boy, Michael Jordan. The airness. He is probably one of the athletes that I've watched growing up that did stuff that changed the game. It kind of showed me that there is greatness that you can strive for, right? And it's just not by his talent, but just his work ethics that kind of pushes the bar. And then after his career of basketball, just the things that he has done in the community, when his donations, the business moves he has made, Sir Airness, Michael Jordan, MJ, whatever you want to call him. I want to be like Mike. He is the original GOAT. You cannot talk about best athlete ever without mentioning GOAT Michael Jordan, right? So I just want to say that's my favorite player, and he's a man, hands down. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Thanks, guys. So now we got our next segment. Faheem, take it away.
So let's go to zoned in, zoned out. So NBA playoffs starting just right now. So I'm just going to ask everybody real quick, what series you're zoned in on the Eastern Conference, and then we'll go to the Western after. So Nelly J, which one are you zoned in first? On the East, which one are you most zoned in? What series?
Pull up. These simple, buddy. It's a simple thing. The Raptors. Zoned all the way in, okay? I want us to slap Brooklyn, then slap Philly or Boston, then slap up Milwaukee, and then top down Lakers, whoever comes in the West. I'm about the Raptors, Eastern, all the way. Zoned in on that. I'm zoned in least on, I don't know, I would say the Bucks and Orlando. It's kind of dry up for me. The series to me is not that interesting. T. Ross, yes, he will have his good games, stuff like that, and Giannis, he's going through I'm not sure if he's missing his child or what's going on with him, but I think Giannis and those guys, I'm not concerned about Milwaukee. They should take that series, but I am zoned in on the Raptors in the East. That's who I care about.
Cool.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Duke.
Also, for me, for the East, I would say, well, I already know Toronto's going to pass the first round, so it doesn't really matter what they do to Brooklyn, whether it's 6 games, 5 games, 4 games, or whatever. The most challenging as far as the East, the first round, I would say would be the Celtics and the 76ers.
Mm.
And the reason why is because you have 2 solid teams with, decent supporting casts. The 76ers are, looking to get back at the Raptors from last season from getting their ass whooped. But they've kind of digressed a bit and aren't quite the team the same team as they were last season. And then I have the
Butler,
Celtics.
man. They got no Butler.
Yeah, no Butler. He's in Miami right now. So, but I do have the Celtics taking that series in 6 games. So I'm expecting stellar performances from Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and then of course with the addition of Kemba Walker. So they're like Celtics were good last season, but now with Kemba Walker, even more amazing now. So that for me for the first round it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that series, because I feel like the team that comes out of that series is probably going to give Toronto the most, the hardest challenge, because Milwaukee, I mean, they already lost the first game to Magic, so they're kind of shook already. So for me, I think Toronto's real challenge as far as the East is going to be the winner of Sixers and Celtics.
And what series are you most zoned out about?
In the East.
Like which one least
zoned out? I would say the Toronto one, because I already know they're going to win anyway. So it's like I'm not even paying attention to that right now.
Right.
It's like
they
we
better
already
win.
know. I'm not stressing myself over something that I already know is going to happen. Like Toronto's going to probably win that in 4, if not 5.
Right. What about you, T?
I'm gonna say I'm kind of zoned in on the Boston and Sixers. And refresh my memory, because what's his name is out with a knee injury.
Yeah.
Hayward. Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, just like what Duke said, it's who comes out of that has a good chance of giving Toronto a run for their money. So I want to see who we're facing in the future, because I want to make sure that we're sitting pretty. Because I'm a Toronto fan and I want to see them go all the way, just to show people that we're not a one-player team, right? So when people say, "Oh, Kawhi left, we're done for," people counted us out. "Oh, we're not even gonna make the playoffs." People put us on the 8th seed, and we're sitting pretty at number 2, right? So people, please, especially all you people south of the border, just hold your tongue when the champions are talking, right? Just please, we don't want to hear no noise at all. Okay, you guys just calm down and simmer down. And the least I would probably have to say is probably Indiana and the Heat, because
I forgot about that.
Yeah, whoever comes out of that is gonna get beat up by Milwaukee. So it's like, to me, Milwaukee has a nice little smooth sailing all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's where the real ball is gonna happen, in my opinion. So yeah, that's it right there.
For me, I'm most zoned in on actually that Indiana Miami series.
Really?
Yeah. Reason being, so the Jimmy Butler, TJ Warren feud that's been going on.
Yep.
That's something that they play the same position, and they're going head to head in their background during the season, where Butler disrespected TJ Warren, said he's not in his league. And now here we are months later, and TJ Warren is a bubble first team player. Like he's playing like he's Michael Jordan in the bubble.
Like that's something to prove.
Blasphemy.
That's right.
Blasphemy.
That matchup is exciting, and especially Indiana is better than people are giving them credit for. Oladipo still is not in, right? So this is a team that's playing without their best player, and TJ Warren has stepped up. And just the matchup between Butler and Warren, it's exciting because it's not just them. Like they have a lot of players around them that make it an even battle. So that for me, that I actually find most interest in that one. Least obviously is the Raptors. Going in, I said I actually, to be honest, I said it's gonna be a 5-game series. Who knows what it'll be? I gave Brooklyn a game because it's the bubble, and stranger things have happened. So I wouldn't doubt if Raptors dropped the game to Brooklyn. But yeah, that one has least any and no value to me. That one's just going to be Toronto's on to the next. So let's flip it to the West. On the West, Nelly J, which one do you have is the most interesting on the West?
So on the West, this is tough for me. I would say the Clippers series. I actually think that watching the games thus far in the first round, I feel like they're gonna have a tougher matchup than people expected. So I think Clippers will still win, but it's gonna be challenging. It won't be a walk in the park. And then when it comes to the least, I'm zoned out on. I would say the Rockets and OKC. I like the matchup because Chris Paul left and so forth, but OKC, they had a good run. I'm very happy for them. I really, really am. But I think they have no chance beating the Rockets and Harden. Like none.
Duke.
So as far as the West, it's I'm most zoned in with the Portland Lakers series because Dame Lillard, he has a big chip on. Had a big chip on his shoulder. And the way he's playing right now, he's going at niggas' throats.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do against the almighty LeBron James and supporting cast. So it's going to be
real quick. Do you have Portland beating the Lakers?
No, but I feel like it's going to probably be it's going to be probably one of the more interesting series in the first round on the West side.
That's fair. And
actually, no, I'm lying. I think Denver and Utah is going to be the more exciting one. But as far as what I want to see what Damian Lillard could do against, with that chip on his shoulder against the Lakers this time around.
Right. What about your zoned out? Which one are you least
zoned out? OKC Houston. Simple as that. I mean, I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah.
Because I already know Houston's going to pass OKC anyway, because I know they're playing up the whole Chris Paul playing against his old team, but I mean, he's by himself basically, so it's like, who cares?
All right, Terrence, in the West, zoned in.
Honestly, man, I got to give it a tie to the Lakers, Portland, and the Clippers versus the Mavs.
Luka.
Yeah, Luka, honestly, don't get me wrong. Luka's a really good player, and he's holding it down for his team and his squad. And I haven't seen the Clippers really gel on that whole how they sold it before when the team first got put together, as in they're going to be like unstoppable. They are showing some weaknesses, right? So, and I think if Luka and the team was a little bit more gelled, like a 1 or 2 years more, I think they would probably beat the Clippers. I don't think they're going to beat them, but I think it's going to be a close series, even though they kind of had them up in the first series. But
you're saying like a 6-game series then?
I'll give him 5, man. I think 5 maybe. Yeah.
2 games? Okay.
Yeah, I give him 5.
And which one are you zoned out of?
The zoned out one probably is going to be Houston versus OKC. It had a good rivalry, but from last time I checked, what's his name is not in it either. You got Westbrook.
Right.
Yeah. So it kind of was like one person went to the next team and the next person went to the other team, and now they're clashing together, right? Former teams battling on different, former players on different teams battling out, something like that. So that would have been kind of interesting. But since Westbrook stepped out, it's like, I'm not too interested in that one right there.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. For me in the West, most zoned in, I'd have to say, I'm with Duke. It's all about the Lakers and Portland. That series, Dame time is real. They squeaked into the playoffs, but I have to say that this Portland team, adding Melo, getting Nurkic back, like Portland's continuously getting to the playoffs and not going anywhere. They have people there, and I can actually see them giving the Lakers a run, because the Lakers are looking to be, I think they're beatable. I really do. Like I went on record many times saying
in the bubble they are. They look beatable in the bubble.
There's a question mark. I mean, he got them out of the first round in New Orleans. But other than that, he hasn't really proven himself in the playoffs yet. And now he has to do it on the biggest stage with LeBron. I'm just not exactly sold. So I think they're vulnerable. So that's one where I'm most zoned in. Zoned out, I guess we're all the same. Houston, OKC. That series, I mean, I'm kind of rooting for OKC just because of the fact that at the start of the season, I wrote them off. I thought they were going to be at the bottom.
I think we all did.
I didn't even think they were going to make the playoffs.
Right.
I didn't have them in the top 8.
Right.
I think I think on ESPN they had him at 0.2% to make it to the playoffs.
Wow.
0.2%.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw a
That
post
low.
on Instagram saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just the fact that they're in this situation, that's probably the biggest Cinderella story in the Western Conference right now.
Mhm.
So I kind of have a soft spot for them to see them get out the first round because they shouldn't be there.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm most zoned out about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys. So that was our zoned in, zoned out segment. Now we're gonna jump into for the culture.
For the culture.
Right.
Well, the culture, y'all. So these are things we're talking about, any items, musicians, artists, anything for the culture. And so our first topic is about a Canadian artist named Drake. You might know who he is.
Who?
Drake, you know Drake? Yeah.
Aubrey?
So he dropped a song called Laugh Now, Cry Later. He had a video that came out last week, and I think everyone saw quite a few cameos. So I want to go around the room to get your feedback on his video. Did you like it? Was it a hit? Was it a miss? Did you appreciate the cameos? The song, was it good? Give us your feedback on the entire visual aspect of the song and the video. So I'm gonna go with Mr. Duke first.
Yeah, well, it was a glorified Nike ad, if you really want to be real about it. But I ain't gonna lie, the video was top notch. I mean, it goes without saying. Because not too often we come across videos that are creative and actually keep you tuned in. I can't remember the last time I sat there 5 minutes watching a music video. So it did its job as far as keeping me tuned in. The song is cool, it's catchy. Drake's pretty crafty at being consistent and precise with timing of his releases. So it came at the right time. Timing was right considering, this year's been pretty much dry, other than WAP, no pun intended. And we did,
How about the Tootsie Slide? The left foot up, right foot.
Trash.
we really
No,
didn't have like a summer song, like a song of the summer, basically. So this new Drake record came right when the summer was closing. So I could imagine he's probably releasing an album shortly. So it came at the right time.
Nice.
Yeah, it is certified. I think it's certified. Anyway, certified something. It's dropping.
Certified something. Oh, how about you, T? Do you like the song?
I think I have a different opinion, man. Me, I'm more of the old school when it comes to music videos, man. So yeah, I grew up in the '90s. Like I used to record on my VHS music videos, like Far Side, Busta Rhymes, The Little Planet, stuff like that. And I appreciated the music videos back then, right? These music videos, great budget, quality's through the roof. But to me, it just seems like a music video just to get a music video. It doesn't seem like it's touching. It doesn't resonate with me. I haven't seen a music video where I looked at him like, man, that was dope. Like Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See. Something like that where it's like, damn, where did you, or Far Side when they had that the video where they're going backwards and stuff like that. Like I haven't seen
Passing Me By.
He passed me by. Like you don't see creativity like that, and I don't see it. So when I see a music video, I take it in for like once and I just forget it. Just like, okay, whatever. I don't even look for music videos anymore.
By the way, my bad. I don't think it was Passing Me By. I think
it wasn't Passing Me By. It was
Drop.
Drop. Yeah,
Drop.
that's what
Right.
Pass Me By was the other one, the old school black and white.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not
That's
the same
one with
anymore
the
to me.
cameo with the Beastie Boys, right? Beastie Boys did a cameo on that, right?
For the drop.
For the drop video, right? I think it was.
No, Drop was the one where he's going backwards. My bad. I said Pass Me By, but it's actually Drop. You're right.
Yeah, droppers are all going backwards. Like you can see, like they jump down the stairs, but it's actually backwards. So he's flying
and the water's
up the
coming up. And,
like it comes out when they fall from the. Those are like I like those type of stuff, and even Busta Rhymes and like Busta Rhymes is, to me was probably one of the dopest when it comes to making music videos, right? Even when him and that collaboration. Yeah, so those are back in the days where I enjoyed music videos. Now it's just like, how much money can I pump in here? How many collaborations how many famous people I can put in here just so I can get more likes and views and stuff like that? It's not done for the culture, it's done for views and likes and stuff like that. So I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the music videos these days, man. It's not for me. And the song for itself, Drake is talented. Drake is the best thing that probably came out of Toronto when it comes to being as big as he is. But a lot of his songs, to me, it's catchy, but
No,
I don't have it
you're
bumping in my car, man.
basically.
Yeah,
All right.
that's not my type.
So for me, I think I'm going to trigger some people right now when I say Drizzy Jackson. This man of our generation, like it or not, the man is dumbing Billboard right now. Like,
Yeah, he's a chart king.
Yeah, he's the biggest artist right now. Coming back to what you're saying, Terrence, about videos and the videos from the 90s. This video, Laugh Now, Cry Later, was directed by Dave Meyers. So Dave Meyers is the same one that was doing, like, he was hot in the 2000s around the Hype Williams video time. So, like, Drake went back and got a legendary videographer to do this video. For me, I thought the video, one, I like the fact that it had a concept from the start to the end in regards to, yes, it was a glorified Nike commercial, but I like they kept some old elements with it, like even the acting when Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch came in and crashed Drake when he tackled him. That little type stuff, little funny. Drake had his part moment where he's like crying and stuff, little acting stuff. For me, the song, I think the song's fire. I play it. It gets a little Dirk's part. I get hype up even more. Drake's a winner right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
He's always been a winner. He's just very crafty at staying consistent. That's why.
No one's had a run like Drake. Like,
no one.
Actually, I'm gonna throw this out real quick. Who's had a run like Drake?
I'll answer this because we had a big conversation on that, right? So we tried to say who had a run like Drake.
Right.
And honestly, nobody has had as long, and I'll say consistent. I'll say consistent because we're talking about when even Jay-Z had that turn. We're talking about Pac, when Pac was doing this thing, Snoop too as well, No Limit.
50 had a run.
50 Cent. Yeah.
He had a run,
There is no one that has been, like, he's been consistent since like
since the time he came out.
05.
When he came out with
Replacement Girl.
Who's the R&B singer, man?
Trey Songz.
Trey Songz. Yeah. He's been
Girl.
consistent ever since. And I'm like, this guy's been there from the get-go. So that's what I'm saying. I give him shout-outs. He's like the king of it right now.
Dude is legendary. So, I mean, the reason why we're even talking about it right now is I saw the video and I was like, yo, I like the fact that he had KD in there. He had Marshawn Lynch. He had Odell Beckham. I mean, it's nothing to get those people in it.
Yeah, he always raises the bar, basically. But
and honestly, it's very hard to get KD in a video. Like,
but it's not,
he should be like housing his knees. You know what I'm saying? This guy's dunking on Drake and doing the most in the video. Like, bro, you're an NBA player, but hey, that's Drake, right? He got that pull. He got the followers. And like when Drake drops a song, every player, everyone's bopping a song in the locker room. Like, he has a following, and these young kids look up to Drake, and Drake really looks and respects these players from like college, from when they're college days. Drake will pick up these guys. So that kind of. Yeah, he's that kind of like advocate for sports. I thought the video was really good. I actually like the song, little dip. I would say one thing I got from it, which I guess me being a woman, I don't know why, but I really like the fact that he talked about laughing and crying as a man. That's just me. Like, I think sometimes, people think if you're a man, you can have any emotion. You must be like tough and serious. But the fact that he was saying that laugh now and cry later, it's like, hey, I can work hard as an athlete. I can work hard, be off the field. And I like the fact, remember, like, I think he's wearing that big white, like, suit in the video. Kind of reminds me of, like, when LeBron got drafted with the one. Like, he had that kind of, like, symbol with the Raptors hat. That old, like.
There's a lot of symbolism in the video,
Yeah, a lot of symbolism in there, right? A lot of athletes. So, but for me, I like the fact that he was saying, like, yo, like, for a rapper to talk about crying, and he cried. I'm like, why you guys crying in the video? Like, as a man, it's good to see that men are being more open with their feelings. And I feel like I'm just happy to see that this top artist, the Jackson of our era, is talking about laughing now and crying later and saying, it's okay to laugh now and cry later. Like, it's healthy. Do what you got to do. So I'm all about giving or promoting that kind of, you know, message. Like, laugh now and cry later, guys. You're a man, but you can still cry and laugh. Like, it's okay. So
Terrence is laughing right now.
I have something to ask. Can I ask a question?
yeah.
Okay. Are we comparing him to Michael Jackson solely because of the billboards, or are you talking about his quality of music? Okay.
Billboards,
That's what I want to clarify.
Perfect.
And it's a good thing you clarified it.
You can't put up Drake against MJ because MJ will blow him out the water.
Yeah, if you're saying Billboard charts.
I meant like Billboard, like charts. Yeah, like charts.
Yeah, but I thought when I hear people talking about this on social media, and I'm like, wait a minute, are you talking about Michael Jackson's catalog of music?
Oh, right. No.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I 100% agree. Yeah, 100% agree.
Like his numbers on the charts, that's all.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. And I think he'll probably even, I think by the end of his career, he'll even have more. Does he have more already?
He already does.
So he did the Beatles last year.
He
I
does.
remember he did the Beatles last year. So
the only thing,
but you have to also take into consideration it's a lot easier to be a success now because with all the resources that these artists have, right? Back then, you know, Michael was the first African American to have a music video on MTV, right? So a lot of these artists don't have to go through, you know, that bullshit. So as a matter of fact, it's a lot easier for them to be more successful than it was before. So you also have to take that into consideration as well.
So I'm gonna throw this out though. So you're right, Michael Jackson when he came out, you know, he's dealing with other like Lionel Richie and like, you know, them men, right? But if you look at it now, artists now. There's a lot more artists that you're competing with now because it's so much easier to get in the game now. So opposed to in Michael Jackson's day where he probably was competing with, say, you know, 10, 15 artists at the time. Nowadays, you're an artist, you're competing with hundreds, thousands of people, right?
But hear this though.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The quality of music back then was timeless.
Right.
A lot of music here today.
Right.
It's not as timeless as you would like it to be, but I mean, and that's why it's a lot easier for these artists to be successful because the quality of music, people don't even listen to quality no more.
This song is just like one word, the entire song.
And I'll chime in that just to back up Duke's point. It's easier for people to get access to music now than it was back then. Right. So back then when they first came out, we had like cassette, vinyl. You know, concerts, there wasn't social media, there wasn't streaming platforms, there's none of that stuff. Like, you want to listen to music back in the day, you gotta go to the record store, or you gotta get home at 5:30 to catch the mix or Rap City, right? And hopefully they'll play some music. So for him to, at that day and age, to have the world captivated with his music, like you see jails in like the Philippines reenacting Thriller.
Right. That's like
I don't think people are going to be doing the Tootsie slide in jail, right? So it's like it's a different quality, man. It's a different quality.
Right. No, and to your point, it's true. Like Michael Jackson is a global icon. Yeah. Drake's big, but he doesn't have that global appeal. You know, he's big in countries and people might know him, but there isn't that same fandom, that same appreciation that Michael has. So that wasn't what I was saying when I said Drizzy Jackson. I was strictly speaking Billboard.
Yeah, so like no one's fainting when they see Drake.
Yeah,
wait, grown men fainting.
Literally, I remember videos, grown like 200-pound men fainting,
passing out in aisles, boy.
Like,
that's crazy.
Everything. Yo, Michael.
I don't faint over nobody.
Yo, Michael the legend. So, nah. All right, so we'll jump into our last segment for the night. And it is called That's Absurd.
That's absurd.
So this segment, we have two topics actually that I want to cover. And they're pretty, I would say, absurd. That's what they're called. But the first topic is about Tyson Fury. Right. Tyson Fury is a British boxer, right, Faheem? This is your.
That's right. So actually, did you guys see the Fury
Deontay? Yeah, I saw that.
The fight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw the fight. Yeah.
Perfect.
Fight. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I figured everyone's seen that, right? Mm-hmm. So that fight itself, who were you guys going for?
I was going for Deontay, but I already knew Tyson was going to win.
Terrence,
from the get-go, I was going for Deontay. But the second fight, I knew it was not going to be the same.
Right, but still, your emotional attachment was to Deontay Wilder, right?
100%, yeah.
Yes.
That's mostly everybody. Just because...
To this day.
one thing about boxing is there's a racial divide. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Black guy against a white guy, you're gonna go with the black guy. You know?
100%.
Facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously Deontay Wilder went down to Tyson Fury, and people weren't too happy with him going down. So, and I have to give that background on this, because here's what happened. Tyson Fury went on Instagram. I shouldn't say he went on Instagram. He was on Instagram with his family in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
And Juicy from Biggie came on. And as he's singing along, he's like, and if you don't know, now you know, nigga. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So people are kind of going at Tyson Fury, saying, you know what, like, you can't sing the song.
You can't sing the this is
Sing that.
You gotta sing the radio version.
Right. You gotta self censor yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Be conscious of it at least.
well, so that maybe I'll throw it out. What's your position on that?
Okay, so what I would say is,
Go ahead.
you see, for me personally, I don't let anyone non-black around me that I feel that I know feel comfortable enough to use the word so loosely, right? So, and on top of that, I've never understood why white people feel the need to use the word, and on top of that, make the excuse that it's just a word, or it's in their favorite song, and black people use it, right? So I never understood that. But as I said, I have no filter, and I don't shy away from confrontation, especially when it comes to nonsense like that. So even though it's just a word, the way I see it, black people, I mean, you have to condition. How should I say this now? I think with black people, you have to condition people to teach them respect for our community, right? You have to condition them to that, because as a community, we need to do a better job at preserving our culture. So ironically, what we do is we spend far too much time arguing with each other, because on one side, you're gonna have some of us say, okay, well, they'll say, it's just a word, and then why even let it bother you? Then you have the same people that get upset when they're subjected to discrimination or some other form of racism or microaggressions. So the way I see some black people are, people are black, they're black when it's convenient for them, and then it's not how they preserve a culture that's birthed a lot, that's valuable in our society, that other people prostitute their own enjoyment. So I mean, I just think that we just have to do a better job at conditioning people how to respect us, basically, if that makes any sense.
T?
I don't like it. Majority of the people in my circle are black, but when I am exposed to people that have been growing up in the black culture, don't say that word around me, right? Don't, especially now, a lot of South Asians, they're deep into the hip hop game. They have a few friends that are black, and you hear them say it from time to time, whatever the case may be. And if you say it around me, I'm gonna call you out. I remember one time calling out like 4 of them in the parking lot, just saying it randomly, because they were, immersed in the culture of blackness, but they're using it too freely. They don't really understand what it's all about, to use that word, right? Yeah, it's one of the coolest shit to say, don't get me wrong, because we make it look as cool as it can be, but don't say it, right? But with the Tyson Fury thing is, what can we do, right? What can we do? Can we call out Tyson Fury to say, hey, apologize? Will Tyson Fury even apologize? And if he does, is it authentic? Right? We have allowed people to use the stuff that we basically created ourselves, and just beyond the word, but the music, culture, everything, style, fashion, sports, and we allow ourselves to get pimped out to the point where they feel it's comfortable to put it on social media. They feel it's comfortable to, say it around people like it's nothing anymore, right? So it's it's kind of our fault that we don't check people. And there are black people out there that are okay with it. And they allow it. So if you have a group of black people that have someone that's non-black saying the N-word around them, they're going to be so comfortable that when they're around other people, they can think, it's cool. It's just a song, right? It's not with the ER, it's with the A. So there's a difference. Well, it's no, I don't want to hear you saying it, period. Right? So it is wrong. I don't like it when I saw it. I'm like, bro, you could have easily just muted yourself and just leave that word out. But he makes his money off of white dollars. He's a white man. He's a champion right now. He probably is not going to even say sorry or even pay attention to this on social media, and there's no way
No,
we're gonna be able to
can't
check
tell
him.
him anything right now.
We can't check him. Like how is us as Black people gonna tell him, hey, we want you to apologize?
Hmm.
And then if he does apologize, does he really even mean it? And if he does apologize, are we going to accept that and say, okay, fine, you're invited to the cookout, bless, have a good day? Like, come on, like it's crazy.
He gets no
It's
plate
crazy.
at the cookout. No plate, just water.
He gets no plate, but he probably doesn't care about our plate.
True.
He'd rather just beat up Wilder, make $10 million, and go make his own plate and still say the word, and we're going to be upset and vexed and waste so much time trying to get him to apologize when we have other battles we need to, focus on and yada,
Exactly.
yada.
That's why I say we need to condition people on how to respect us, or else it's going to get to a point where that situation and you can't tell them nothing.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I can tell you this. Doesn't matter how much time we check them. We made it so cool that they're going to want to say it. And they're going to say it. And guess what? Sometimes they're going to get caught on social media. Sometimes they're going to be in their garage drinking a beer with their friends, letting the N-word fly like crazy. It's gotten to a point where it's a universal language. No one's going to stop using it. What are we going to do as a people, right? It's crazy.
Nelly
Yeah.
J?
Yeah, so when I saw the post, I think it was over the weekend, I wasn't angry because I've learned, especially living in Canada, I've lived in Calgary, I've lived in London, Ontario. I've been called the N-word so many times in this country, it's ridiculous. So I've kind of gotten like a thicker skin when I see someone white saying that word. It's like, who are you talking to? Not me. Like, I don't even address it anymore, because if I address everyone that says that word, I'll be in fights. I might be in jail. It's not worth my time. However, I do feel that celebrities like Tyson Fury know better. He knows better. This isn't a new topic. Like, he knows better and doesn't give a about what he said. Like what he said, what Duke said. So why should I, a humble human working 9 to 5, stressed about Tyson Fury, what he's saying? I'm not going to give him any energy. I'm not going to put my emotion towards him because he don't care anything about me. You know what I'm saying? However, I will say, if you see me and you're my friends, luckily aren't like that. I have friends from all backgrounds. No, but I've had a guy at work one time say the N-word about she's good looking for an N-word, and I almost boxed him. But luckily, my Filipino colleague was like, "Girl, get out the office!" Like, and luckily he got let go. But this happens, you know what I'm saying? So we have to fight our battles. We can't fight every battle. We have to pick and choose, because if we fight every battle, as Duke says, we will miss our mark. It will distract us from the message and the purpose of why we're all here and what we got to do for the culture. So yes, I was upset. I was annoyed because Tyson knows better. He knows better. Like, I refuse that this guy had no clue that word shouldn't be said by white people, but he still didn't care. So I just think, for me, I will not invest in anything that he does. I will not invest or support any of his things. Like, I'll watch matches, but I'll support his opponents. But I will not be purchasing, and I will not be buying anything that he endorses or that he supports, period. So I figure I rather, I guess, kind of hit you in your pockets. I'm not rich, but I won't support anything that he does. That's my protest against him.
So I hear and respect all three of your views and your examples. I'm just going to backtrack. That's why I asked at the very beginning in regards to who you guys went for. The consensus is everyone went for, if you're Black, you went for Wilder. That night, Wilder Fury, I watched the fight with a room of maybe 8. There's about 8 guys watching the fight. All Black guys. All 7 of them were going for Wilder. I was the odd man out going for Fury. Now, reason being is Tyson Fury, I follow boxing, right?
Yeah.
So going in, like, I'm a fan of Tyson Fury as a boxer. Like, I watched what he did to Klitschko, and I'm like, yo, this guy, for his size, the way he moves, like,
his technique, basically.
He's technical. He's good. He's a good boxer.
So,
hands down, he's a good boxer.
And my thing with Wilder was always Deontay Wilder. He's knocking people out and looking so impressive. But I also said, when he got to somebody who can actually box, because he was fighting a lot of people who were under his skill level, right? Yeah. I figured, once he gets to somebody who can actually box, he's going to have problems. And That's exactly what happened.
Old.
So,
Yeah.
so just a background. So in regards, I'm just gonna actually ask this first. So, Juicy, the song he sang, that was a number one. It was like number one on Billboard in '94.
Mhm.
Okay. It made number one not because of black people, but white people loved it also, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna throw this out. So if an artist, there's a word and there's a word in context. So the example, Nelly J, the example you gave about someone saying that out of context. Duke, what you're saying about having to educate people, I agree, that's out of context. But in the context of a song, I know I see a lot of I see Nelly J's head shaking like, don't go there. I have to.
Go there.
If
Go
somebody
there. Get on the bus. Go there.
if somebody is okay, Biggie put it in the song knowing that he wanted that song to be a hit. Okay. So I just find it hard to believe that if Biggie was performing that song, and obviously the majority of people are going to be non-white, non-black people. There's gonna be white people in there, and he's gonna say, if you don't know, and if you don't know, now you know. And he puts the mic to them, and if they said the N-word, I don't know if Big would be offended because it's in the context of the song. You know what I'm saying? So I think when it's used in the context of a song, I don't think it's almost like there's an appreciation and I don't think it should be in that context of being something that's separating people when hip hop should be bringing people together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead, Terrence. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree what you're saying, right? Like within context, I understand your whole positioning on if he's at a concert, he's singing it and he wants the crowd to get in it. That is like, that line is perfectly for the crowd to sing it and hype up the whole atmosphere. Right. But when we talk about in context, like if it's aggressive, like what she's saying, someone called her a nigger, she's good looking for a nigger.
Of course.
Right. I think that when we allow that to happen, it's a slippery slope.
Exactly.
And that's when they start to feel like, okay, I can use it anytime. So when someone is using it as in like, yo, my nigga, but we're arguing, but you're not black.
Right.
Oh, that you just slipped, you just fell down the slope, right? So that's why I'm kind of realize they have to realize using that word is going to be a slippery slope. And
you give them the privilege to use it, yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't want them to get their face thumped in by the wrong black man because so there's some black men that will check him.
Right.
They will knock him out.
But think about this though. Tyson Fury wasn't having a conversation with somebody and slipped in the word.
He ain't getting knocked out either, too.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, I totally get it for him, but for me, he is a superstar in his sport, and he's an example for other white people.
Yeah,
and
he has a responsibility.
Using that word, even though he didn't mean to make it argumentative, whatever. I think someone goes, "Oh, well, Tyson said it. I mean, why can't I say it in a song too?" And imagine a white guy says that in a song. And you're walking by, and he's on his like, yeah, if you don't know, now you know. And then all you heard is the end part. Like you do what? Like you will fight him because again, you don't know what he's looking for. Like I feel like at the end of the day, I think as in his position, his responsibility for his people, and especially in our climate, like this is a climate of change, and people are protesting every day. He needs to understand that this is not a time to just go on Instagram and say that word. I get it, right? I don't think Tyson did it out of malicious intent.
No. 100% no.
But however, he shouldn't say it. And he should be like, you know what, guys, I did say my bad.
You still got to be conscious about you using that word anyway, regardless if you mean malicious intent.
They're not going to be conscious.
But again, like what Duke said, people are going to do it. So we can't 100%. Put our energy towards it. But all I can do is be like, if you're to that word, Tyson, and there's no apology, there's no accountability, you're not like, you know what, I can see why you're upset. Some people, I can see why it offended some of you guys. My bad. If I don't hear that, I don't care about Tyson. That's just my personal opinion, right? Like, like for me, like I haven't stepped into H&M since they put that black king in that on the shirt, right? Yeah, like that's how I am. Like I don't play. Like my money's my money. Yeah. And as a black woman, only power is what my money is spent is my power, right? So if I think you don't respect my culture, I'm gonna put money towards you. I'm not going to.
All right.
I respect that. Respect that.
All right. And what's
Well, so the last absurd comment was there was a gentleman, a rookie from Oklahoma State. Okay, his name is Kamal Silverin, and you know, with COVID happening, a lot of these teams are putting their players in a hotel. This young gentleman decided to sneak in a girl into the hotel wearing a jersey. Now, I guess to hide her. I mean, this is the stupidest, the dumbest plan ever. I mean, put her in a maid costume. I mean, like, he could have done anything else, but no. He put her in a helmet and an actual costume. And yeah, like, he got caught and got fired. Got fired. The guy's even he got drafted this year and is getting fired before the season started. So that's kind of absurd. Like, what's your thoughts on these young kids? Like, bro, like, who's your friends, first of all? And if you want if you want to see a ting, why not give her like a maid costume? There's many other like ways. Like put her in like a towel rack, something like, I don't know.
Here's the absurd thing with this. First, this guy's a rookie, right? So in football, the minimum rookie contract is like 500, 600,000 guaranteed, right? So the average football, especially for a player, like the average is like maybe 4 or 5 years. So it's not like, so think about this. This guy, like when you say risk it all, like the man put it all out there. Like he gave up like $500,000.
For WAP.
For what?
For WAP. That's what he gave it up for.
For WAP. For WAP, man.
Absurd. Like.
What? But you know what? The CFL actually, he can go to the CFL though.
No, it's
or
canceled.
you can go to the XFL too.
It's canceled this year. The CFL is canceled. You can go to the CFL. The XFL though.
Right.
But to me, like honestly, like you work again. You are an athlete. You work all your life for this. People like would die to be in the NFL. This isn't like a joke. This is your dreams. This is your family. This is your income that you've worked for so long. You went to college to play in the NFL, and you lost it all because you wanted to see a girl or a woman. I just think it's so absurd to me, and it's just very like I feel kind of bad for him, but I also feel like, bro, like what are you doing?
Terrence.
So yeah, you probably see my facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like my question is, yeah, he broke the rules, whatever the case may be. But my question is this: why is the rule so strict to have a woman?
Yeah, the firing.
We're in the middle of a pandemic.
And
So
I guess
let me point this out.
Okay.
Let me point this out. Watching the NBA games in the bubble.
Right.
Look at the people in the benches and the cameraman and the spokespeople. They're all wearing masks.
Right.
As soon as a player gets checked into the game, mask comes off.
Right.
He gets sweat in his eyes, gets sweat in his face.
Right.
He's hugging and he's pushing, touching, bumping other men, yada, yada, yada. You know, they're all exhaling and inhaling the same air if you're posting up on somebody. He goes back to the bench, puts on the mask.
So I
that. I don't think that is
it's
like
it's a whole contradiction with the whole thing going on with the bubble.
To me, it's like, come on, man.
So with the NBA, when they go back, so they started actually it was in European soccer. They're doing that at first.
Yeah,
guys would come on the field. They be like you said, they'd be on the bench, mask. Come on the field, take off the mask, play, sweat, touch, come back, put the mask on. But in the NBA, when you come back on the bench in the bubble, they're not making you put the mask back on. Also, these guys are being tested every day.
I think every like 3 or 4 hours. They tested a lot.
They are tested. So anyone in that bubble you could feel safe that's why the NBA has zero COVID so far, zero COVID test, because everyone's in the bubble, everyone's safe, everyone's being tested.
Yeah.
Sneaking in this chick who's coming from who knows what she has, forget COVID.
You see, like,
is this his girlfriend, wife, just a
girl? Didn't say his girlfriend.
Just a random.
Not claimed.
Yeah, it's an IG thing, you know.
She's not claimed.
Confirmed though.
But you know what? I feel like
no.
But I see T's point though. I feel like you should have at least test her first, and then if she was positive, fire his tail. But what if she was negative? You know what I mean? And I get it because I guess he's the example for everyone else. Because I
think they're just going off of principle is that you're not supposed to bring anyone.
It's principle.
Yeah. Sorry, one more thing with the principle. So he plays for the Seahawks, and he's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Russell,
I hear you. Yeah.
Russell Wilson, his wife is here.
He's at risk.
You know what I'm saying?
The breadwinner is at risk.
Bring his wife in. You as a rookie can't bring no IG thing in.
Facts.
No. You know what? You make a good point, and I'll change my thing. I agree that he should have got severely disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
But not cut.
To be
fired,
and you have to remember too, right? We all I was Duke, and you two. When you are that age, testosterone's a different drug inside your body.
Right.
Right. And especially these guys, they're hyper masculine, testosterone's flying through the roof.
And you got money too.
He just got a piece of money. There's going to be a side of people that say, well, you're going to sacrifice all this, but there's going to be people that don't understand when you're that young, you feel invincible. You think you can get away with it.
No.
Right. Like he really put thought into, disguising this woman in a jersey or whatever type of uniform that he gave her. Just like bank robbers, they don't go to rob a bank thinking they're going to get caught. They really plan it out, say, I'm going to get away. He got caught. I say pay some type of price, suspend him for the season, chop the salary in half, whatever. But to fire homeboy, especially because you caught him, you should have just said, you know what, boom, you're done for the year. We'll talk next season. To fire him outright is like, man, you're not going to give him no second chance. Right. Yes, your point is valid. He could have put Russell, their breadwinner, in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
if I was Russell, fire the motherfucker. But but still, I think it's hard.
You make a good point. Want to know why? Because you're right. Say, for instance, it was Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson was in quarantine, and then he brings in. They're not going to fire.
Oh hell no!
They're not going to.
That is a big part of it. I mean, if you're a superstar player and you're doing that, dang.
Right. But think about it.
He's a rookie, right?
That's a rookie.
You're not losing much when you're doing that to a rookie.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
that's why they did that. Now they wouldn't have thought about doing it. They wouldn't have thought about doing that if it was Lamar Jackson. Also,
no way. Right. No way. No, but I definitely get your point. Like the COVID thing, and people are very terrified of it, and you don't want to have the whole Seahawks just out with the COVID-19. That would be kind of messed up for the whole organization, right? So it's like,
a lot of athletes have actually opted out from playing in the NFL. So not even all their players are playing this year. Like quite a few players have opted out due to family concerns and so forth. So like he's playing with fire, like real fire. You know what I mean? So,
all right. So let's put this one. Let's put episode number 1, Good Rookies Podcast. Let's book it.
Book it.
I want to thank our guests for coming through tonight. Duke De Niro, any shout outs?
I'm going to shout out myself.
Jesus.
If you don't love you, who gonna love you more?
I ain't got really nobody that I want to shout out right now. I mean, if it's the first episode, I'm sure you guys going to get a lot of viewers, so I'm going to try to get at least, some rub off of that. So
Jesus.
Follow me at Duke De Niro on all social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's DINERO, not DANERO. So just make sure you get that right.
Nice.
And I will be tagging you, Duke. So I'll have the correct spelling and on YouTube everywhere, on Spotify, where we're going to be at.
One more before you go, Duke. You're producing. Give us some names of people you produce for real quick.
Okay, well, I mean, I've produced for people like T.I., Young Thug, The Game, Scheme. I've also had a track with, who else? Local talent. No one really yet, but pretty much those are the names that I'm comfortable saying right now.
Nice.
Gotta get on some Drake stuff, bro. You be on that billboard in no time.
Oh, I got some stuff.
Right,
so all right. Terrence, shout outs.
I'm gonna give a shout out to myself, like Duke. No, but you can follow me on social media: Instagram, my Facebook, T Smith. I got a men's grooming product line coming out in the fall.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I see you got the beard going on. We'll hook you up with something there.
Right.
I got some stuff here. I got you, man. I got the shampoo for the beard, the cream for the beard, the oil for the beard. I got 2 fragrances coming out for oil and solid state colognes. and we're going to push that heavily.
Enough said.
Yeah, enough said, definitely, man. Ethos_GP on Instagram. Follow me up. I'm going to start hitting up some social media stuff. I have a commercial on the radio right now where I got through a grant on 93.5. And website and everything is up, but it's going to be launching later in the fall. So probably, hopefully, just after November, just when men, usually they shave it off for support of prostate cancer and then they grow it back. I got the hookup to get you looking right. And the second thing is I'm working with a few individuals, especially Debo that you guys had on the podcast before.
Yeah,
we have a production company, Carbon Footprints. So if you guys check that out, we have a video that just dropped that basically touches light on COVID and quarantine, but also how that has actually increased domestic violence for a lot of women, right? So that is kind of like a message inside the content in the video that we created. And we just want to make sure that people are aware that it's more than COVID people are suffering from right now. People are suffering from job losses, people are suffering from depression, but also people are also suffering from domestic violence, which is kind of a horrible thing to feel trapped in your house with an abuser. And we need to kind of shine a light on that, right? Because that's kind of a terrifying experience to go through, right? So yeah, and I got other things coming on the pipeline, but until they get up and running, I just don't want to mention it at that time. But yeah, things are moving, and I feel 2020 is a bad year, but also you can make it a good year by just sit down, focus, and yeah, you got to focus and you got to get stuff done. Nothing should stop you from progression besides death.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, Nelly J, quick.
My shout out is going to be to the first Black president in NFL history. He announced it this week. Mr. Jason Wright. He will be the Black president of the Washington football team in the NFL. This is a huge win for the culture. And yeah, shout out Jason Wright. Can't wait to see you. I actually normally go to those games in DC. So when I go to the game, whenever COVID ends, I will definitely be happy to spend that dollar in your stadium. So congrats. And also, second shout out to our guest tonight, T and Duke. You guys were amazing. Thank you for saying yes. He's like, yeah, Jim, oh, come on. I'm so happy. So thanks for coming on. It's been a great reunion. And hopefully we'll have more to come with good rookies. So thank you.
Nice. And mine, lastly, shout out to the Seattle Kraken, the NHL's new team from Seattle. They hired the first Black full-time play-by-play announcer. So you're going to have a Black man that's going to be calling NHL games.
Huge.
That is actually... That's dope.
Imagine
that's dope. Because I was watching a video of I think it was PK Subban was playing a team.
Right.
And the commentator was like, they scored on their team and it's like, oh, how about that? How much fried chicken can you eat? No one really caught it. And I was like,
no, I didn't.
Had that racial undertone. I have it on my phone. You guys send me a message. You know what? Nelly, I'll send it to you, and I'll show it. Duke, I'll send it to you.
Send that to me too.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, fried chicken you can eat.
Wow.
I'm like, none of these white people eating fried chicken, like, that's just a direct shot at PK. So I was like,
watermelon. Say it all, bro. Shoot.
So, Everett Fitzhugh, he's going to be the Seattle Kraken's full-time play-by-play announcer. Shout out to him. Yeah, it's great to hear. I'd love to see that progression. All right, so episode in the books. All right, we appreciate you guys coming through.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yes, and please don't forget to subscribe, like this video. I'll be tagging Duke and T. Follow them, support Black businesses, Black supporters. Please support our culture. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Good rookie.
Check us out on YouTube, Spotify,
Apple
Podcast app, everywhere that you can take in an app at your pleasure. We're there for you. All right. Episode number 1 in the books. Good Rookies Podcast. We out.
Peace.
Peace.